afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Vintage Needle Crafter. My name is Laura. Well, I had to stop whatever I was doing in the middle of my day to make this tutorial for you because I have got something to show you that's going to blow your mind. It blew my mind anyway. Okay, does anyone out there, have you ever heard of the Nutiden unspun yarn? It is on the market and is quite pricey. It's just a dyed Corriedale or some type of wool that is unspun. Well, I'm so sorry. I bumped my camera. The excitement is just off the charts. But anyway, that Nutiden is quite pricey and you can make your own. I discovered that you can knit without even spinning your wool. That's right. Here I have some Corriedale. This is just how it comes on Amazon. This is a plain brown Corriedale, quite a boring color, which I will overdye. If you use food coloring, you can overdye this, which I will show you later. But this little tutorial is to show you how you can just knit without spinning this at all. Now, what I have here, this is my sample that I've worked up so far. And I am really liking it. I love the squishability. I love the fuzzy factor. It's like it's like knitting with a high quality wool and a mohair combined. It's so soft. But I'm going to show you. I'm going to break this just to show you that you could put this on. What I did is I took this. I'm going to pause this and put the camera up a little higher. I think that's a little bit better. Okay. What I did was I just took this Corriedale and I just pulled it apart in strips. Just like this. Just pull it apart. Now, when you are knitting, I'm going to keep going along here. What you want to do is just be a little bit careful with it when you're knitting. And it's sticky out today. It's hot where we are. It's 94. Just knit along with it. And I cannot believe that you could knit with unspun yarn. This blew my mind because I saw all the Nutiden yarn out there and thought, I wonder if this will work. Just get my yarn that's in my stash and just never mind spinning it. Just start knitting. Look at this. This knits up quite nicely. I'm just doing a plain stockinette stitch here. And when you come to the end of it, all you have to do is just pick up the next piece and just keep going along. It's just so simple. Do a few stitches because we've got a thick spot. Now if you want to thin that out, just draft it a little bit, just like that. See how I'm doing that? I'm just pulling a little and I'm drafting. I did not plan a podcast this week, but when I started working with this and saw how nice it was turning out and how easy it is to do. Because now spinning wool is nice. You know, it is nice. If you've got the money to invest in a nice wheel, go for that. That's wonderful. Some people out there may be a little intimidated to invest in big equipment. Some tried drop spindling. Maybe you couldn't get the hang of it or just thought it was taking too long, and it does take time. Drop spindling is nice, but it does take time. Look at that. I would say that is just as nice or nicer as you could do with a wheel. And this is just a single ply. The fiber world is just wonderful. And the artistry is just amazing. Look at this. We're just going along. We're just knitting. Isn't it wonderful? We're just knitting. Now, I have some white Corriedale in my stash. Oops, I must have done an overstitch there. Knit that together. I have some white Corradale in my stash that I would like to hand dye with the food coloring and vinegar. And I will do a tutorial on that coming up to show you how you can hand dye your own. Now, it won't be natural dyes because food coloring is a synthetic dye. But it doesn't matter to me how we dye our wool. Isn't that something? And you're just taking that strip. Maybe you'd like it a little thinner. But however, the little tip I'd give you is don't get it too thin. This is working up like a number 5 bulky. And it's quite even. In fact, I will say that this is a little bit more even than my hand spun, because I'm a newbie at spinning and it takes me a long time. There, look at that. Well, I think that is a very nice way and a very fast way to do it. You can research for yourselves the Nutiden yarn that's out there. It's an unspun yarn, like I said. And they had a knit along called the Unspun Heroes last year. But you'll see what I'm talking about. It's quite pricey. You can go on Amazon and get a pound of white Corradale for, I think, around $30, somewhere around that. This is just some plain brown, and I don't like the color. I think I'm going to over dye this with some red tones or maybe some orange. But there it is. That's what you do. You just take these and you just pull them apart, like I say, because that's quite thick. You wouldn't want to knit with that. You just pull it apart. Not too thin now. You don't want to go too thin. And then you can just draft it out a little bit and just add it to your piece. Add it right in. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I appreciate you all so much for subscribing to my channel. My little channel is starting to grow. I thank you for being here and taking time to watch this tutorial. I hope you give this a try if you were thinking about spinning and you don't know where to start. Forget all that spindle stuff and just get yourself some wool, pull it apart, and have some fun with it. Although you don't want to pull, like I say, you don't want to pull too tight when you're knitting. You want to be gentle with your knitting on this. But thank you so much for watching and for being here, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!